Welcome to Living in Beauty. It's Thursday, September 7, 2017, and we're at Dreher Island State Park near Columbia, South Carolina. An island in a forest in the center of a 50,000 square mile reservoir named Lake Murray. And we couldn't be more in Irma's path than if we'd planned it. But not to worry, because as of this morning, we're full on gas, diesel, propane, and a full tank of water. So we can be 50 miles west within an hour if we have to. We just don't want to yet. This place is beautiful, remote, quiet, and due to the coming storm, the temperature just dropped several degrees. We had planned to be in Myrtle Beach right now, but due to the holiday weekend, we ended up here. Moving closer to our original goal, Myrtle Beach, wouldn't be prudent, as Florida evacuations are in progress and the surf's up, way up. Timing's everything, right? Speaking of the weather and timing, last month, the path of totality swept across the Cherahalla Skyway and the quiet remote village of Tellico Plains, just down the road from my sister's house in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. So, from the Shenandoah Valley, we dropped in to meet Daddy, Deb, and David, and our niece Maria. An unprecedented throng of skygazers was expected to descend on the little village to witness the celestial event. So we just set up right there in the epicenter, a 20-acre field dedicated to scheduled events and festivities related to the eclipse. Though the turnout was smaller than expected, the vibe was epic. Perfect strangers from around the globe gathering in an obscure field to witness a rare cosmic dance featuring the two rulers of planet Earth. How often do you get to hang out with a bunch of cool people and see a thing like that? Later in the evening, we moved uphill for mountain breezes, some deep forest bathing in the Cherokee National Forest, Deb's country cooking, and a wonderful new mattress upgrade. So fresh out of the wilderness after months of off-grid camping, the comforts of home and the simple things which we once took for granted, like mail delivery and human companionship, stirred up in us a longing to be someplace bright, urban and touristy, like Myrtle Beach. Yes! And on the way, we'd stop in Asheville, North Carolina to visit with friends and maybe even throw a dinner party. As I started going through recipes and thinking about cooking serious food, I realized our pantry was bare. So my sis Deb took me out to her neato getting places. Then off to Asheville we went, stocked with locally grown produce, hand-milled flour, baked goods, and dairy-fresh cheese. Obviously, we didn't have a clue about Asheville and the dog-friendly restaurants and cafes and pubs and breweries and scenery and history. Oh, and the shopping. The Smoky Mountain cornucopia would have to hold and hold and hold until, at last, it rained. No ordinary rain was this rain. This was a renegade thunderstorm from Harvey. The downpour certainly would be no big deal for most Americans, but we still are, after all, San Diegans. It takes much less rain than hurricane leftovers to keep us home. Also, our little private campground gave us notice to leave Friday morning, the next day. And without Labor Day weekend reservations, we could end up boondocking again, since every private, state, and national campground within 100 miles around was booked solid. Time to hunker down and get serious about the next few days on the road. Jim lit up the grill and prepared vegetables to use in omelets, soups, sandwiches, quesadilla, and to garnish my tortilla. Spanish tortilla is our basic go-to meal. I could make these with my eyes closed. It's what I take to parties and potlucks. I don't put meat in them, but many cooks do. We prefer it as a vegetarian main dish or side dish. We like it for breakfast, lunch, supper, and snacks. It lasts until someone says, "Hey, who ate the last slice of tortilla?" Then we make another one. It's good, hot, warm, or cold. One tortilla is 4 hearty meals for 2 people, and it holds up beautifully in the refrigerator for as long as a week, if it lasts that long. There are many methods to making tortilla. When we lived in a house, I used an iron skillet, but I've adapted to the lightweight and portable Magmaware that many RV and yachting cooks use. First, I boil 3 pounds of potatoes in briny water. Any potatoes will do, of course, but I'm partial to Trader Joe's organic gold potatoes. Careful not to overcook. I take them out when a fork can penetrate without breaking them apart. Now for the leeks. I prepare the leeks while the potatoes are boiling. Here I used 8 small leeks from the farmer's market. Onions will do, but I prefer the flavor of leeks. Even Walmart sells leeks these days in bundles of 3 to 4, the perfect amount to make a tortilla. After I drain the potatoes and let them cool, I preheat my little sharp convection microwave oven to 350 and prepare to cook the leeks. This dish takes a lot of olive oil. I cover the bottom of the skillet and fry the leeks, seasoning with salt and pepper as they cook, about 10 minutes. Once the leeks are done, I slice the potatoes just thick enough to keep them stable and not break apart, and combine the leeks and potato slices till all is evenly distributed. Then, thickly oil the bottom of the pan and butter all around the sides. Then whisk up a dozen fresh eggs with salt and pepper and a couple dashes of golden balsamic vinegar, about 2 teaspoons. Eggs thoroughly whisked, I load the potatoes and leeks into the pan, then pour the eggs, being careful to make sure eggs are distributed throughout the potatoes and around the sides. Then press all nice and flat and even. Now, this is where I put something special in. Fried green tomatoes or maybe eggplant. Today, it's Jim's seasoned grilled peppers. Then I popped it in the preheated oven and baked it for about 30 minutes till the top looked right, but the center was a little too loose. I could tell when I put the handle on and gave it a little shake. So I took the handle off again and covered it with a piece of parchment paper and continued baking. Then about 10 minutes later, I put the handle back on and transferred the tortilla to the stove. It passed the jiggle test, so I let it sit there to cool. About 20 minutes later, I loosened the sides with a wooden knife. Then placing a platter over the top, gently turned it, flipping it over, out of the pan and onto the plate. Some bits stuck to the bottom of the pan. Sometimes that happens. No big deal. I just scraped off the bits, pressed them back onto the bottom, covered it with a paper plate, a silicone mat would work too, and flipped the whole tortilla over again, so the pretty veggies show on top. As it continued to cool, those loose bits incorporated into the tortilla like it never happened. Have tortilla, we'll travel. Where we'll be next is anyone's guess, including ours. Looks like Irma has eclipsed our plans. Will the Florida Keys even be an option for us this winter? Nothing to do but wait and see and wonder who'll get the last slice of tortilla. Thank you so much for joining us at Living in Beauty. If you like this post and want to be notified when a new one is released, please enter your email address and click the follow button at the bottom of this page. That's it for now. Have a great week.